Buddy, this is my vlog of the end of day one of Hacker Summer Camp. I'm recording off of my phone right now. I kind of don't know where to look. Like, the camera's right there, but I keep looking straight ahead. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of things we're going to talk about. I was at B-Sides for day one. We've got a whole bunch of different sticker loot over there, like elect more hackers. This is so far my favorite one. Of course, EFF was there, renewed my membership, did all that. Keeping that gold memberships current, got some t-shirts, all of that. We're going to recap all of that when I get back, because there's going to be far more sticker loot when I get back. But did take my first SkyTalk, which, if for those of you not familiar, a SkyTalk is basically where there's no electronics allowed. Well, you do. You keep them in your pocket. Like, nothing recorded, all of that. This is where people talk about things that potentially may be illegal, and these are also kind of hard to get into. Do have to say that B-Sides had some real bad issues with communication. There were a couple of knocks that they had that they really need to fix for the next one. This is my first ever B-side, so they did communicate up front that yes, you need a mask at the event, which is why I had the mask that I have been seen using, which is this guy over here that actually has a little fan to keep my face cool and all that, with a little filter and everything inside of here. Works pretty nicely. It's a resensor mask. I picked it up on Amazon, and I got a spare one in case the battery happened to wear out. That actually worked pretty dang well, if I may say so, but that's not what this video is about. They communicated the mask requirement really well, I will say that. Where they messed up was on a couple of points. So if you read the website, it talks about there's a breakfast and a lunch. They had nowhere there saying that it is only there for a certain donor class to the event. You literally saw when they were telling that, a bunch of people had left the line, where they were all saying, we didn't understand that, we didn't know that. So yeah, anyway, that was not communicated very well. The other thing that was not communicated was the expectation of how it was to get into these Sky Talks, because originally I wanted to get into the Sky Talk for SteamOS. They had one in the morning. I didn't know that I had to line up at 9:30 in the morning for the Sky tokens to drop. This is the SkyTalk token over here, this little plastic card here. I wrapped it around to my regular B-Sides badge that they give you, just says participant on it. So that was really annoying, because not only was I not informed that you had to line up for these things, and nowhere on their site was it really explained that well, nor was it explained when you were coming in that this was an expectation, but they also then have you have to line up. So I sat in line for an hour to get this one, and then said, well, if you want to get another SkyTalk badge, you got to go back to the end of the line to go get another SkyTalk badge. So that was not really feasible. You would sit like there for a while, missing quite a few of the talks and everything. I don't even know how some of these people I saw had SkyTalk badges from 1 through 6, which I would have loved to have seen all the SkyTalk sessions. I'm not asking for, any special handouts. What I'm asking for is, how the hell did they manage to get them? And I'm sitting here just getting one, and most people I know only managed to get one, maybe at most 2 SkyTalk sessions just in this one day. Now, there's more SkyTalk sessions tomorrow, but there's also the DEF CON shoot going on tomorrow, and that's something I'm also interested in going to, because, well, brought some things and I need to get rid of some weight before I go back and free up some suitcase space. But yeah, ammo's heavy. Anyway, with that being said, the SkyTalk itself was absolutely amazing. It actually answered some questions I had about a mystery when I was an MSP back in the day. I act like this was forever ago. But really what happened was Windstream was knocked out. It wasn't as a notebook. So you were allowed to write notes, handwritten notes, in these SkyTalks over there. And I'm hoping to, I did give the guy also my card, so I'm hoping that I can interview him to get more into it, because he left a lot out on here. So this was about the pumpkin eclipse, which was with Lumen Technologies, I believe it was. I'm trying to read my doctor kind of handwriting here. I have sloppy handwriting. I know. 600,000 routers lost in 3 days, with one of the largest ASNs affecting Action Tech T3200 and T3260 router modems with just a red static light. The last time that this had occurred was the acid rain attack, which had apparently hit Ukraine during the invasion. That whole thing was the last time something like this happened. Census apparently was the service. CENSYS is the service that was using to track a lot of this, and it was related to the Chalubo malware. There was a lot that went into this talk. I mean, it was only like, I think, 40 minutes or so. There's so much information packed in there. I was nonstop writing. This was tailor-made malware for MIPS processors, ARMs, all that, like basically just targeting your router and stuff like that. And this wasn't made for it to be a botnet or do anything. This was to kill it, basically. And it's not very popular and was last used in 2018. It was also using Lua. It reused an encryption key from Notes, if I'm reading that right. And he kept trying to find an 8K report from Windstream. This was the ISP that was affected. You can look up, and they were all over the place with this happening all over. Because I remember as an MSP, a lot of my clients were in rural areas, and Windstream was one of the only ISPs you could get out in some of these places. And we're talking like farmers and we're talking about emergency services. Like, a lot of things were hit, and some of these businesses were down for at least 3 days. I remember some of my clients were out for as much as 3 weeks because USPS is not on a regular cadence to get things delivered to some of these areas and all of that. I mean, rural areas, America's kind of boned, and we're going to get into how screwed this was. Apparently, I really want to dive into this a little bit more when I have time to collect all the notes that I have and do a little bit more research. We'll do this probably on a Twitch stream and stuff in the future. But the French were apparently affected and may have done BGP rerouting to try to, get around the issue. But this was all hush-hush. They didn't want anyone to know about this. The reason why there's no 8K report from the SEC was Windstream is privately owned. The FBI apparently didn't want to look into it because the victim didn't make a report. So if the victim doesn't complain about things, apparently, nothing's going to be done about it. Tells you something about our justice system. That's a whole other topic. So emails were apparently hacked from Windstream as well around the same time. This was also when Unity was trying to purchase them. So this goes into, there's apparently a company called Elliott Management that was trying to buy failing ISPs and outsource support to Bahamas. And before anyone's like, well, you're going to get this guy in trouble. No, he actually wants people to kind of know about this story here. We're going to get why, because this gets into some really juicy political BS. The kind of BS that made me hate politics in general. So Elliott Management buys distressed assets. That's kind of what they're known for doing. Elliott was buying ISPs and gutting support and doing it to every ISP they can get their hands on. Apparently, they even tried to buy AT&T and a few others. And there's companies apparently in the UK and all that. They're even trying to lobby so that they don't have to report their purchases and who owns them and stuff like that. These are essential assets that we should have transparency into. Elliott has also took money from the USA, but not putting internet in. They've gotten grants to put internet in rural areas and not put the internet in, basically. That's some BS. This goes into the whole big problem that we've been talking about how most of America's getting stiffed. We're putting money in. The big ISPs are, getting all the money, but nothing's really changing here. And American ISP infrastructure is so far behind. I mean, I see the comments, people are like, wait, you're still using cable DOCSIS modems? And I'm like, yeah, we're not as fortunate to have fiber out here. I've been begging for fiber in my house since I purchased the damn thing many years ago. And I'm still not ever going to have it. I'm probably going to get fiber when I move to a place that has fiber before I actually get fiber in my neighborhood. And they're also apparently Elliott is also trying to take over F5, Texas Instruments, and, the Wipro they used as an Indian outsourcing firm, or they're trying to purchase them. Sorry, my notes are kind of scribbled here. I'm going to try to collect these. They're currently lobbying to not disclose positions in their company. Samuel Alito is apparently like taking some of these private jets, apparently. That was like, which really goes into the whole thing of like, yeah, there's a lot of BS corruption going on, and that explains the whole ISP situation and everything. But yeah, first day of Hacker Summer Camp, really cool. Learned a lot. Also, Intel gave me this nice little challenge coin here for completing some of their challenges. Just answered a few questions. That was all. So, yeah. What's day 2 gonna bring?